Good morning, Hebrew Israelites, once called African Americans, and the rest of humanity. God prepared his spiritual messengers and warriors in 1997. That was the prophecy. That was the awakening. It was definitely my awakening to spirituality and the fact that God exists. It wasn't until, you see, God has a plan. And before evil, SOS, caused 9/11, God put his people in place, Hebrew Israelites. You see, Hebrew Israelites created the cell phone and the internet. All of this started around 1997, 14 years before SOS attacked the Twin Towers. Everything was in preparation. An example of things being in preparation was the creation of the internet. See, you have to understand the power of evil is through lies and deception. The way to defeat evil is with truth. Video truth is the best way. Rodney King was the first example of what was to become when the video of Rodney King being beaten by the police. You see, the police could have lied, they could have hid, but with the video they couldn't. And the question is, how long had this been going on? Oh, it's been going on since slavery days. But I explained in other videos that to be a good liar, the first person you must fool is yourself. And see, that's what evil did. It fooled itself into thinking that black men were thieves, murderers, and the rapists they portrayed us to be in the movie Birth of a Nation. So what did they do? They ignorantly put cameras on police, thinking they were going to catch black men committing crimes. And the only thing they did was told on themselves, because they were deluded by themselves into thinking they were something they are not, into thinking that they were godly and not satanic. They deluded themselves into believing their lies. You see, when the people who create the lies pass away, their sons and daughters believe the lies. They believe it. And for this reason, they put cameras on police and were shocked at what they saw. However, even seeing the truth, they were still deluded. Because when you are a victim of delusion, you don't see with your mind because it's twisted. You see with your eyes. And you still don't believe what you're seeing with your eyes because you are deluded. That's why women have fallen prey to this feminist trap, thinking that they are stronger than men. And when they do try to exemplify this, they get knocked the hell out by a man. And it happens over and over again because they are deluded. Let me explain something else to you. You see, Hebrew Israelites also invented the internet. But see, from lies come fantasies, illusions that deluded people choose to believe in. People enjoy their delusion. But you know what the internet does? The internet exposes lies. It exposes lies. It was created by Hebrew Israelites, and it exposes lies. It weakens lies. And it awakens the spiritual nature in people. You see, all spirituality needs is truth. Spirituality only needs truth. And the internet is connecting people all over the world and exposing lies. This is why Hebrew Israelites, once known as African Americans, are asking for reparations. And now they know why they want reparations. You see, we know about the bombing of Black Wall Street by the United States government because of the internet. We know of Caucasians using Black children for alligator bait because of the internet. We know of Caucasian people eating Hebrew Israelites because of the internet. Information is being passed along from city to city, nation to nation, country to country. Thought waves. See, the internet, you can't touch it. It is thought waves being passed through the air. And it can't be stopped. It can't be stopped. The properties of melanin in my black skin is now known throughout the world. The fact that Hebrew Israelites and Black people are 100% Homo sapien, and that Caucasians are 9% Neanderthal is known throughout the world because of the internet. Now, Caucasians are no longer calling Jesus white. They are calling him a somewhat mixture of white and black. They're trying to, and they've drawn a picture of what they say Jesus would have looked like. But the men who are drawing these pictures are men that don't even believe in God or Jesus. You see, the Bible states what Jesus looked like. So your clowning will not help you because of the internet. Because of the internet, we have pictures of the popes praying to a black Hebrew Israelite, Jesus and Madonna. That's who the Pope prays to in the Vatican. And the pictures are all over the internet. But there was a priest, Catholic priest or whatever, and he said, and when people asked him why these two popes were praying to a black Jesus and Madonna, he said they had been in the sun, and so they were suntanned. He made no sense. But if you are deluded and you enjoy the delusion, then you will set your common sense to the side and believe what you want to believe. That is not ignorance, because ignorance is when you don't know. That is stupidity. Intentional stupidity. You see, all the lies are being exposed over the internet. Catholic priests of the Vatican and bishops and rabbis in Israel are protecting pedophiles. Those places are full of pedophiles. And the internet is exposing Christianity and Judaism for what they are, cults. Each of them are in violation of the Ten Commandments because they both supported slavery. And slavery violates all 10 commandments. One asks themselves, why has God allowed this to go on? It is because human beings were given free will. If we do not have free will, the right to choose, then we are no more than androids. Androids. We have to have free will, because what does free will do? It allows the wheat, W-E-H-E-A-T, to be separated from the weeds, W-E-E-D-S. It allows the wheat to be separated from the weeds. And see, spiritual warfare is not about people who are spiritually elite, like myself, fighting evil. No, we are just messengers. You see, God has people who are designed for for spiritual warfare. And these people are the people who were tortured, brutalized, burned, lynched, and eaten. They are the souls of the Hebrew Israelites that will be the warriors. You see, justice belongs to them. You see, we are not human beings, we are spiritual beings. You see, the body dissolves. But I said, and notice I said dissolve. It dissolves back into the elements from whence it came. It dissolves. Because see, the body doesn't die, it dissolves. And do you know what dissolve is? When something dissolves, it doesn't go away. It chemically breaks down. The body will chemically break down and dissolve. The atoms that the body is made of have a consciousness. They break down. They don't dissolve. All the water that is on earth has been here since the beginning of time. It just recycles, dissolves, recycles, go into plants, go into animals, go into people. Even a stone has a consciousness and follows the rules of its utility. I say this to prove to you that once the body dissolves, the spirit is set free. Now, let me explain something to you. God exists. Scientists know that God exists, and they call God by a variety of different names. Let me read something to you. Leia is what science may call the 0 point or line, the realm of absolute negativeness, or the one real absolute force, the noumenon of the seventh state of that which we ignorantly call and recognize as force, or again the noumenon of undifferentiated cosmic substance, which is itself an unreachable and unknowable object to finite perception, the root and basis of all states of objectivity and subjectivity too, the neutral axis, not one of the many aspects, but its center. Some scientists call this the God substance, the one substance that does not change, the one substance of which all things emanated from. But you see, scientists are hoping that this one substance does not contain consciousness. Because if this substance has consciousness, then it is the creator of all things, and it knows what it has created, and it is all powerful, all knowing, and it is everywhere. You see, science knows that God exists. They're just hoping that God does not have consciousness. However, if human beings have consciousness, then of course, God has consciousness, and therefore God exists. You see, it has been taught since the beginning of time of Abraham and Melchizedek that God exists. We live and breathe and have our being in the mind of God. We exist in the mind of God the way a dream exists within us. But we are finite beings. God is infinite. You see, what humanity also calls that God substance. What humanity calls that God substance is what we are all created from. And that God's substance has been identified now as energy. It is energy. It is self-contained energy that relies on itself, that energizes itself. And like I said, scientists are hoping that this substance does not contain consciousness. But then again, scientists may know that it contains consciousness. But the rich and powerful who have deluded themselves and want to rule the world, the SOS people, are deluded. They can't see truth. They think themselves to be gods. They think themselves to be gods. But see, the spiritual war began in preparation in 1997. Before 9/11. You see, it started when around the time the internet and cell phones were created. And the people of the earth, we are united in cyberspace. The strength of evil is in the lies they tell. Their lies are dissolving. But an interesting thing is that they think that they have achieved so much, it doesn't matter whether we know the truth or not. They think that we are so deluded, doesn't matter whether we know the truth or not. But see, truth is 10 times more powerful than a lie, 100 times more powerful than a lie. And eventually, truth will dissolve into nothingness. You may now like and subscribe. Have a great day. Namaste.